Having sex with 100 men in a single day was not what OnlyFans model Lily Phillips expected it to be.
Like more intense than you thought it might?
Definitely.
Sorry. Okay.
I mean, my parents definitely don't describe having as, what did you say? Sorry, abusive or
Violating.
I don't think it's abusive. I think your daughter being violated 100 times by strangers is abusive.
Lily Phillips is going viral because she broke some sort of a record of sleeping with 100 men in one day. Let that sink in. Candace Owens had the opportunity to have a chat with her, and let me tell you, it got really interesting, very interesting. So we're gonna go see this video, but first, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Christmas is around the corner, so I can't wait, first of all, because we're gonna eat a lot. Gifts open, we're gonna give some to actually, we adopted a couple of families, so we're gonna give some gifts, donate gifts to them. They're not gonna be some sort of a like $1, no. $1 gifts are not gonna be in the list. So we're gonna bless some people. So I encourage you to bless people, but also I wish everyone is having an amazing time with your loved ones. Can you do me a favor? Like this video, help us to work the algorithm, and please subscribe to the channel for more content to stay updated also with our channel. Hit that bell notification, and let's go straight to the story.
If I'm honest, it was hard.
Having sex with 100 men in a single day was not what OnlyFans model Lily Phillips expected it to be. After offering her male fans a chance to sleep with her, the 23-year-old details the not safe for work experience in a recent documentary with YouTuber Josh Peters. And according to Lily, the 14-hour stunt in which she gave each man 2 to 5 minutes to do the deed was not for the weak. She admits in a video published December 7th,
It's not for the weak, girls. If I'm honest, it was hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Like more intense than you thought it might?
Definitely.
Sorry. Okay. Just take
1 minute.
In fact, Lily had to excuse herself to cry in another room shortly after performing the feat, saying that it was definitely more intense than she thought. She can be seen getting emotional while explaining that she constantly feels pressure to give the men a good time.
I guess the interactions when like I'd have to stop them early and like you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go, and like the awkward interaction of like you feeling pressure to have to make them come if like you haven't spent enough time with them, and feeling like they didn't, like you didn't give them a good time because like they only got 2 minutes.
The London-based influencer adds that several men even tried guilt-tripping her into extending their time together.
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like, what, you're not going to make me finish, I've come all this way, like kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit. I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by the, I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're going to do this, and like it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal things at all.
And while her room was littered with condoms at the end of the night, Lily recounts how she's feeling both physically and mentally by the end.
Surprisingly, downstairs is not really sore.
Okay.
It's more just tired.
And this isn't the end for Lily. She revealed in a November video shared on X, "Last week I did 101 guys. This was just the warm-up, because in February I'm going to be the first person ever to reach 4 digits of guys all in one day."
I don't know. Let me just tell you, I was me and my wife, we were watching this because it was interesting in the sense that, I mean, you can tell she needs love. She's pleasing people. Anyway, so it hit actually hard on my heart because I have daughters. And I'm trying to do the best I can. Not only that, but we're not going to be perfect. The thing is, am I going to be able, as a father, am I going to be able to protect my daughters from this from this generation. Let me just put it that way. I don't even know. I don't even have the words for this. It's tough. Let me just tell you this. If you guys have the audacity to go watch this, I had to stop it because it was brutal to watch. It's just more like watching someone who is just has a death sentence, to be honest with you. That's how it felt. That's how it felt. And I feel sorry for her, and I feel bad for her. But you're going to see right now that she has no remorse. Here, this is where Candace Owens sit down with her. Well,
and very, very stressful, very hard. At some points, we were like, I don't even think we're going to hit 100 and stuff like that. And so it was a very long day at work. And as soon as I finished, this documentary team was kind of filming everything. And I don't think I got a second to really shower or have any kind of think about anything until they kind of started probing me for questions and was putting a camera in my face, asking me, what about every little detail. And so, yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure you guys have seen the clip of me where I'm very, very overwhelmed. It was a very intense experience and a very stressful day at work. I'm sure everyone has them days where they come back from work and, it's intense and they have a little cry.
So Lily just talked about how it was a hard day at work and now you saw the clip of her being emotional after. What's your whole take on all this?
Well, first off, I feel like I should say most people don't have a hard day of work like that. I think obviously what you're doing is kind of a bit of an extreme sport, right? Putting it back. But I think one of the questions that I just have about that is it seems like now you're kind of trying to make light of the situation, but in the moment, you were crying. And I get obviously what attracts you to this. I'm not going to be patronizing of these questions. It's money and it's fame. These are demonic possessions. What people will do for this sort of attention. You're getting a lot of it right now because you've done something. You're saying you're going to do something that no person has done and sleep with 1,000 people in one day. But how do you ignore what you felt after that and how you felt after that and just put on a happy face and pretend that it's normal when it so clearly was not? Like, you clearly were traumatized by the experience.
Well, I'm just gonna get time out right here because I just gotta tell you the sound it's coming from their end like that. It has some sort of an echo, so it's coming from their side, coming from their end, not my end. So just want to give you a warning. And also, I forgot to literally warn every single one of you. This is a very tough situation. I would not recommend anybody to be here that is underage. So please make sure you can, well, not underage, but just kids. You guys have to, I mean, she's all over the place, so everybody's seen it, but just parental discretion. That's it.
I personally don't think I was traumatized. I chose to do this. This was something that I wanted to do. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it was fucking easy, but I don't think I was traumatized from it at all. I think as well, obviously, from what you might have seen from the documentary, like a lot, the good points I talked about was also very much cut out. At the end of the day, they're there to tell a narrative. And that's kind of the narrative that they went for, is like, this seems like a sad girl, and I don't want people to pity me or feel sorry for me. This is what I chose to do.
Right, but why were you crying? Are you saying these were happy tears?
No, I was extremely overwhelmed. Like, it was very intense. And yeah, I mean, the experience was obviously, like, we had like an hour conversation after, and obviously when he started probing me about some experiences in it, it was, it brought up some tears. I'm a very emotional girl, so I cry a lot.
Yeah, wait, really quick. I'm trying to think, because now that I'm thinking about it, 100 guys in one day, like, that takes a toll on your body. It's like LeBron's 39 and he's still playing basketball, but you're taking 100 guys in one day. I don't know what is what.
You sound like the comment like, explain this to me in basketball terms. This is not the same thing.
No, I'm just saying, like, that takes a toll on your body.
I'm curious. There was a clip, and we spoke about it before you came into the thing. There was a clip of you talking about finding a partner in the future, and you essentially said that there's going to be one poor that'll eventually marry me, right?
Yeah,
and that wasn't
nice. I don't think so. Let me tell you that I don't think anybody's gonna.
Crying. So, I guess my question is: do you regret any of this, or do you think your future self will regret any of this?
Not right now.
No, I definitely don't regret it. And obviously I can't speak for myself in the future. I don't know how I'm going to feel. But at the end of the day, I can't come back and say I regret this because this is what, I want to do in the moment. I'm not someone who is very regretful because I think everything happens for a reason. And I always think
Everything happens for a reason. Please help me understand what she said. Everything happens for a reason. It's like she's talking about uncontrol or not having control of the situation type of thing. When I say actually everything happens for a reason is because I have no control over the situation. You can tell she is trying to please. I can tell you this. She's a people pleaser. That's what she is. She's a people pleaser.
it got you to where you are now. Does that make sense? If I look back on this and I'm like, oh, fuck, I wish I hadn't done that. But then I wouldn't be the person who I am if I didn't do it.
Candace, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the questions that I certainly had when I was reading into your story was, I think that you kind of tried to portray it like you had this like normal upbringing. And I obviously don't buy that because I have children and I have a daughter, and your mother being involved in this signals to me that you had anything but a normal upbringing, because there's no mother that would spiritually want to see her child violated like that, because that's what it is, whether you perceive it or not. Your mother is watching you or helping you or dealing with the finances of you being violated 100 times in one day. And so I was very disturbed by that more than anything else. Is like I've heard of OnlyFans girls. I've sat down with them, respectfully on the whatever podcast, and a lot of them have stories and they understand that
they have trauma.
My mom, my dad, my upbringing didn't do this. It led me to this choice in life. But you don't seem to have recognized your mother's abuse in this, which is quite alarming to me. So I'm just curious about your relationship with her.
I mean, my parents definitely don't describe having as, what did you say? Sorry, abusive or
Violating.
I don't think it's abusive. I think your daughter being violated 100 times by strangers is abusive.
So my parents don't describe as being violated. They don't really see it in that way.
Okay, just look at the way. I'm not a psychologist, nothing like that. But you look, every single reaction she's having, it's about someone else's opinion. Like my parents, I get it. She's asking the question about her parents, but she goes with, I did this because I think my parents don't have an, don't say anything bad. That is what I'm doing. I bet you 100% her parents, they think this is wrong. But everything she says, almost everything she says, is to please someone else. She feels bad. I can tell you that. She feels super bad.
They know I've always been very liberal, and to be honest, my parents, they're not coaching me into it. They're not telling me, please keep having these people at all.
Of course not.
They're not really.
They love you. They're not gonna encourage you to do such thing.
Exactly, I wouldn't really say like supportive, but at the end of the day, they love me, and what is it going to do if they disown me, stop talking to me? That would only cause more heartache. So they see it from a standpoint of, my mum does like my finances because she wants to help me. They just want to do what they can to help. It's not so much like if they disown me tomorrow.
No, that's different. That's different.
I think that would just make everyone more upset.
Are you giving your mom a cut?
I'm not arguing that they should disown you. I mean, I understand like a mother's love for their child. I'm saying that it is unnatural for your mother to be counting the finances that you're earning from having 100 strangers violate you on the internet for cash, And that is the part that there's just no way to normalize that. There's no way to normalize that. I'm a parent. There's no way, like I have a daughter, and the idea of being involved in that, like it's not saying that if she goes down that path, that you're not going to be there and pray and hope that, she changes and speak to her about that and say, I'm always going to love you. But I view it as predatory, parental behavior. And I don't think it's fair to even describe it as my parents are liberal. I mean, I'm obviously not a liberal, I'm a conservative, but none of my liberal friends, liberal family members, their parents.
In your right mind, are you going to do this thing? No. Which is horrible. Horrible. I think there's a conversation right here. Let me just go take you guys there. I think it's 44 or something over here. Just watch this part where she actually expresses that, the money was good. And so Candace actually is pressing her to admit that it was done for money.
You decide you wanted to do this? Like, at what point were you like, yo, I need to do 100 guys in a day?
So I found a love for gangbangs and doing really big group scenes. And so me and my assistant were talking, and I was like, I just looked up the world record because I was like, how cool would this be to do? Because obviously it's something that's kind of obviously never been done before. It'd be really unique content. It would also be giving, back to my supporters and stuff like that who have subscribed and, made my life how it is today. And so.
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless right now.
So we talked about that back in August. And then we thought, you know what, instead of going straight for the 1,000, we'll do 100 to kind of see how that goes. And obviously we can learn and adjust things from the 100. Like there are some things that we wouldn't do on the day of the 100 that we would, there are some things that we wouldn't do on the day, there are some things that we did do on the day of the 100 that we wouldn't do on the 1,000, you know what I mean? Like it was a test run. And so, yeah, that's why then I was like, after the 100, I thought, all steam ahead, let's go for the 1,000.
Okay, so Candace, you saw the clip of Lily emotional after the 100 guys, right?
That's the real her. Everything like what you're seeing now is like an act, and it's for her OnlyFans page, and it's because guys don't want to think that you're sad. Like I spoke to one of these models, and it's like you just have to kind of be like, haha, everything's funny, it's great, it's gonna be amazing. We just sat down and thought about this, but this is all a facade, and people watching this should know that it's a facade. It's putting on a happy face because she's all.
Look at her face. Look at her face. Let me just look at her face when she is saying, when Candace is actually talking about what's happening. She's like, yeah, but I can say this.
Already committed to the idea. She's getting the attention. She will be literally 10 times more wrecked emotionally after she goes on this pursuit. And I think the responsible thing to do here is just to state that, not as a shot to Lily, but just because there's so many young girls who are in circumstances wondering if they should commit themselves in this way. And like I said, having that discussion with Amber Rose, who grew up with a really rough hand in life, and her describing how young she was when she got on that stage at like a dodgy strip club in Philadelphia, and taking her top off, like that's the reality of what this world is.
And everything comes to, sorry, I'm cutting. This is a reaction. You gotta stick with me. This is actually coming to money. Money talks. The love of money. The love of money. All right.
And, I get it. Prostitution is the oldest trade, but it isn't worth it, to the young girls that are watching this and seeing that she's getting attention like that. It's a dopamine hit. It will fade into irrelevancy. You have your entire life ahead of you. You can make different decisions than this.
Does Candace have a point there, Lily, where she talks about how the effect you might have on younger girls is like that ever crossed your mind? Like,
yeah,
maybe I should.
Definitely. I mean, I very much say what I do is extreme. That is because this is, my job and this is what I enjoy. And obviously, I've never once said, these girls need to do this to keep up with me or anything like that. I've always advocated that I don't want girls taking a piece out of my.
So you wouldn't want other women to do this, but you're okay with doing it.
You're okay.
Exactly. As in, I wouldn't want to push girls who don't actually want to do this to do it because they feel like they have to. That's what I'm saying. Sorry.
I don't think that you want to do it. I think that if somebody offered you $50 million to go do anything else, to go be like, a runway model, you would take it and you would leave this entire career behind. This is about money and fame for you. That's it. So you didn't wake up one day and say, hey, it would be really amazing for me to be violated by like 1,000 guys. That's not a natural inclination that a woman has, but you have to commit to it, because like I was told by these OnlyFans models, you're selling an idea to guys that you're really into this. It's like,
let me just stop right here because she's just gonna keep on going. You guys can go watch it. I just gotta stop right here because, I mean, you can tell her, Lily, the girl on the right side on your screen, she's listening. She's open because she knows Candace is right. I mean, yeah, the tone's like, ugh. But yeah, Candace is right. What else can you say? What the Bible says? The love of the money is the root of all evil. The love of the money is the root of all evil. Money is a tool, yes. Let's go check it out. For the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. And some people craving money have wondered, from the truth, faith and pierce themselves with many, many sorrows. You can say, hey, she's having a good time, whatever. My thing is, like, your consequences are probably not right now, but they're going to come. Your consequences are coming. I'm not judging her. I feel for her. I feel sorry for her. I pray for her. I pray for anybody who's going through this type of stuff, because it is horrible. This is demonic. That's the only thing I can tell you. This is demonic. This is not what God has intended for our life. So I invite you to come to the realization that if you are in a quest for sense of purpose in your life, or in a way to get rid of guilt, I can tell you the only way to be free is to pursue the truth of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I think a lot of people are in the relentless pursuit of something that could be truth, and it could be love, it could be financial stability, you name it. What I think she is going through, this is my final thoughts right now, is that there's something that she lost that no one can give her, because she has not experienced love. She has not experienced something that she lost. She's lost something in the past. And I can tell you that. That's just the way it is. And I can tell you this. I can see that she's been abused before. Maybe before she started actually doing, OF. Because the way she's talking, the way she tries to please people. And that's a symptom for a lot of things. But just the fact that she's willing to receive abuse from 100 people, from 100 men, should receive, some sort of a reward for this. I don't know. This is crazy. I think she's screaming. She's screaming for attention. That's all it is. She is screaming for attention. And I can tell you this. Jesus is at the door, knocking right now. If you're listening, open the door. Open the door. I just pray for you in this holiday season. I pray for every single one of your family members. Pray that you can receive this message. If this message actually bless you, please help me with subscribe by hitting also the notification bell for more content. We'll see you next time. All right.